Hey everybody, just wanted to share some information that I hope will help some players who struggle with some of the similar stuff that Michael here struggles with. So in his original golf swing, we see this ball kind of carry out 257, a little bit of a fade, 39 feet offline, so pretty good tee shot. And what we see here is that his force production is really solid. He's got good horizontal force, he's got good vertical force, he's lacking a little bit in rotation. But overall, like, force production is pretty good, and club head speed responds. It's 112 miles per hour, so really, really solid. But ultimately, what's happening with him is that based on some of the way that his trail arm works, and we can see that trail arm kind of comes down, the wrist gets out in front of that elbow. He's going to get this club running steep and outside, and we can see here, call this P5.5 or whatever. Mid downswing, we're going to see this club cutting through his neck and even through his ear here. And then by P6, we're going to see that club pretty significantly outside his hands. Now, when he gets to here, he cannot continue to build rotation. So this is his peak rotary force or torque force. So he's 96 pounds. But if he was higher than that, all that would happen would be his hands would spin more out this way. The club would get more and more and more outside. So look, using some video, using eyes, and using some of the force data, what we kind of moved him towards was a slightly different trail arm. And we get this moving a little bit differently here, where that elbow doesn't quite get ahead of the wrist as early, or behind the wrist as early. It's trying to move ahead of it. And at 5.5, he's able to produce a higher level of torque. So he's now getting to 121 pounds of torque early, right? Because he's able to create more torque based on where the club is. He's actually responding. His body's responding to that motion. And then at 6, it's kind of staying more in line with his hands. We see a big shift in club path from 1.7 to 1.1, into out, or out to in versus into out. So now the good one's on the right. And he was 1.7 out to in previously. He's 1.1 in to out. Attack angle's relatively unchanged. Speed is unchanged, but we see a huge increase in ball speed. We see a massive change in distance, right? But we see this huge increase in rotation or torque force. And what's really happened is he's put the club in a slightly different position coming down in order to allow that body to continue to rotate. So we had 25 pounds of torque. We change where that club is relative to the rest of them. So here we've kind of covered up his face, and here it's down in front and behind the hands. Okay, so that's going to make all the difference for Michael. It's going to create a chance for him to rotate more freely, stabilize the club face, do some other fun stuff. So if you're working on rotary force and increasing that, you've got to make sure that the club is in a complementary position to that rotary force. Because if it's not, your body will try to give you what it wants, and that's hitting it straight. And it's just not going to allow you to really turn through it if the club's not in the right spot. So we got to make sure that structurally we're sound, and then try to turn up some force from there. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're going to continue to kind of put content out there. And if there's any videos that you guys would like to see, please let me know. Take care.